Hello again, everybody. This is your week 4 wrap up for mental wellbeing and researchers. In this week, we got pretty practical about things, asking you to really reflect upon what we've been learning and what that looks like in your own life, both in terms of some of the things that sabotage mental wellbeing in your life, the physical things and the cognitive or thought things that might get in the way of you having good mental wellbeing. And then we also looked at some strategies, some practical strategies that you might be able to put in place to improve your mental wellbeing or even to prevent mental wellbeing from going off track in the first place. So I hope that some of you were able to connect with the material. It was interesting in the discussion to see a number of you mention the strategies that were in this week's session that you already are using, but I hope also that there might have been some new ideas for many of you, or maybe just a different way of looking even at old ideas, but in a new way. It was also really interesting in the discussion to see a number of you pick up on a strategy that I think is particularly hard for us to do in the academic world, and that is to take a break. So I have found in my life that sometimes when I'm pushing and pushing and pushing, in fact, most of the time when I'm pushing and pushing and pushing and just not getting anywhere, then me pushing a lot further is really not going to help. I really need to step away. Sometimes that's just for a few moments, to go and have a walk or go and have a shower or go and have a conversation with somebody else or do some other activity altogether. Sometimes it's for a few hours, maybe even for a day or two, or maybe even it's to take a break for even a week or something like that and just trying to step away from what you're doing at that point in time. You'll find that ideas come to you anyway because, of course, your research is something that's really important and uppermost in your mind. But by not forcing it to be there or not feeling like you have to come up with a solution straight away, you might be really fascinated to find how much more energy you have when you do return to it and how many new ideas you've been able to come up with in that time that you've been away, however short or however long. If, however, you take a sizable break and you find that actually you can't come back or it's too difficult or your mental well-being is really in a bad place, that makes it really impossible for you to come back with any kind of sense of renewal. You don't have to love coming back, but to feel like you can take the next steps. If that's just not happening for you, then it may be that you want to look at getting some other help to help you with your mental well-being. And we're going to cover those sorts of ideas of where you might go to help or get that help next week in week 5. We're also going to look at how you can potentially be of some support to other people. And then finally ask you to think about in your long-term future how you'd like to put things in place to help you maintain good mental well-being in an ongoing way, whether or not that's in academia or the research field or in some other area altogether. So we are now into the home stretch. I hope that you're finding that the module is inspiring lots of different ideas, or maybe it's just confirming ideas that you already had. That's good too. I look forward to joining you next week for our final week, week 5, and I'll see you then.